Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre.
You know, I've never been to the Isle of Man, and I'm a big motorcyclist fan. You know, I love riding bikes, and I've never been there, and I've always wanted to go and see it.
Oh, well, you have to come. I mean, so you obviously know about the TT then?
Of course. I mean, I find it so crazy, the speed that these guys go at. I mean, it's just... they're not thinking about it. I wouldn't dare to do it, but I'd love to watch it.
Do you know what? The best thing to do is to come over, obviously experience the TT, but come over when the TT's not happening, and then you can just have a leisurely go around the mountain course on your own bike and then not be scared of the speeds.
Yes.
It's a beautiful place to do it. Well, I'm extending the invitation. Come over and come and have a look at the island and come and see the roads that these crazy people do. Well, listen, it's lovely to talk to you. And obviously today we're talking about Valentines. It's fast approaching. Now, I'm guessing as a Frenchman, Valentine's quite important in your calendar?
Yeah, it's very important. And this year, I'm really excited because I've teamed up with Noor and we've launched this KitchenAid called Noor Play, which is a special stock pot that we've launched just in time for Valentine. The reason why we've done that is because more and more people obviously are celebrating Valentine's Day. But the thing what is changing is more and more couples now are cooking together and they like to do that for Valentine's. And I think it's fantastic because it's a great way to celebrate Valentine, but it's a great way also to nurture the love and to feel that bond and that closeness together.
I think it's a lovely idea. And, that notion, like you said, of it's an activity you can do together, presumably as well. It's a bit of a money-saving thing too, because restaurants can be quite expensive nowadays, can't they?
Well, I think it's more about the experience that you have with your partner, with your loved one. You're cooking together, on the recipe that you're going to cook together, or that one is going to cook when the other one is going to come home, and the light is already dimmed and there's a lovely ambiance. Maybe there's a bath that's running, it's already run with the rose petals, just to make it a little bit more special. This is not an ordinary day. It's Valentine. Let's just make something special. Let's do something that we can both enjoy because this is just pleasure. It's a pleasure of the senses in all the senses that you can imagine. So it's really, really exciting.
I love the scene that you set because already you've taken it a league up by saying a bath with rose petals, which is that's amazing.
But it's Valentine. It's a romantic day. I mean, what are we going to do? When you think about it, what am I going to do to make my partner feel special? What is it that I can do? What is it that I don't do normally? So let's just make something of the day. Let's just make something big. And if you think that you're doing something right, let's just double it up. And this is because at the end of the day, what it will do, it will create a memory for people. People will remember that. And this is really how you nurture your love, how you actually build your relationship. And this is when, in a few years' time, you will remember that Valentine and the special things that you do. And these things, they live long in your memory, but they are there and they support your love and just reinforce what you are here together for.
And it's also going that extra mile, isn't it? Because it does take effort, obviously. But as you said, it is fun and it's being creative. But I mean, you are going an extra mile and presumably you want to cook something a little bit special, don't you? So what are some really good dishes that we should be looking at cooking for Valentine's if we are staying in?
In Britain, the three main things that we like to cook, is steaks, it's pasta, and it's seafood. We love that. I love to do that too. But also, of course, being French, I love French food and I love the classic, the traditional recipes from the regions in France. I love to cook that. But at the end of the day, if you've got great produce that we have in Britain, there's a rebirth, of British gastronomy, and it's led by the produce that we produce here, whether it's things from the sea, it's from, things that we grow, the larder, the beef or the lamb or the chicken. We've got great produce here. And all we have to do is just transform them and cook them very simply and make sure that we keep the unique flavors of these produce. And you're sure to cook something good. But, the thing is, people sometimes they feel a bit daunted about cooking because they think it's too complicated. But all you have to do is give it your focus and your attention and just cook from the recipe. Make sure that you go step by step, follow the steps chronologically, and make sure that you focus. Don't look at your emails or go on Instagram or Facebook or call your boss while you're cooking. Just cook and just enjoy that process. Because as much as, you said something, you said you go the extra mile, you make more effort. Mm-hmm. That really, when I heard you say that, I'm thinking, but this is not an effort. You're cooking, you're just following your recipes. It's all about fun and pleasure. You see, so I think it's about changing the narrative, how we think about it, how we talk about cooking, because it's so important also for health. We talk about, 5 a day. I remember when I was a kid, the Father Day, we never talked about it because my parents were cooking a 3-course meal every single day. And every time we had something different to eat. So the Father Day was part of the natural diet, everyday diet that we were having. We didn't have to think about it because we cooked and ate like that every single day. And I think that if we change the narrative and if we think about cooking differently and if we remind people how easy it is to cook and how simple it is, more people will cook, and it can only be beneficial for our personal health, but also the collective health of the whole country.
You're absolutely right. And you mentioned as well about it making memories, and it's something you'll remember. I mean, do you have some standout memories of some lovely romantic meals that you've had? What are those kind of those memories that have lasted for you?
Oh, we've got plenty. I mean, what did I do? One year I did the ultimate luxurious surf center. I had this beautiful Australian steak that I got from my local butcher, William Rose. And then I had some lobster. I had one lobster that I cut in half and I roasted in the oven with a garlic and parsley butter with a beautiful steak and my homemade French fries. I mean, that was a night to die for. We had a bottle of champagne. And because, sometimes when you don't know what to drink, always have champagne. Always go for bubbles, whether it's Prosecco or champagne, because it will go with everything. That was a standout meal. That was absolutely incredible.
It sounds fantastic. And now all I want is champagne and lobster. Thanks for that. I guess as well, part of it, I was saying it's quite creative. The presentation's important as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't need to cook lobster. Last week I was cooking chicken chasseur. Chicken, you can find it anywhere. And it's just a very simple, old school recipe. And, there is this rivalry between the French and the Italian, because my friend, when I posted on Instagram, my chicken chasseur said, polo alla cacciatora. I said, no, it's not polo alla cacciatora, it's chicken chasseur, because the chicken chasseur in France, we make it with tarragon. And it's a very different way to make it compared to the Italian and their tomato-based sauce. And the French version, I have to say, I'm not being chauvinistic, I think is better.
I can imagine.
Much more tasty. Yeah, it's delicious.
Tarragon's a great combo. Well, listen, I'm going to have to let you go, but before you go, give us some tips for anyone who's going on a first date this Valentine's. What should they be thinking?
Well, if you're going on the first date, I think that, look, you have to know why you're going on the first date, what you are looking for, and what you want from a person, and be confident about who you are and ask questions and be open for the other person to ask questions and be prepared to answer those questions, to be open, to be vulnerable, and to just say it as it is, because at the end of the day, you can only be you. And if the relationship is going to last, you're just going to have to rely on you and you alone. So you can't be worried or scared. You can't just, not be confident with yourself. Just go for it, be vulnerable. And if it doesn't work with that date, there's plenty of fish in the sea. There will be one that will like you and that will want to be with you. That is for sure.
Excellent advice. Plenty of fish in the sea, plenty of lobster on your plate. You've got it sorted, Fred.
That's it.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope you have a lovely, love-filled Valentine's.
Thank you very much.
Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre. Open 7 days a week.